Welcome to episode 155 of our Whole Circle podcast show. We are here today to chat to Melody from Be Her Freedom.
Welcome to the Whole Circle podcast, a show about health, wellness, food and fun. So join us, Tracy and Joe, as we interview some of the world's most amazing health and wellness experts and find out how to live your best life ever. It's going to be a whole lot of fun, so sit back and enjoy the show.
It's so exciting. So, are you ready?
It's too much to even say. Like, it's just too... Oh, God, guys, you have the opportunity here to just help someone that needs helping so badly.
Yeah, so a bit of backstory. I came across a ball, basically, a big ball here in Hobart that's held annually. And for the last 2 years, I haven't been able to get a ticket. And I'm like, I really want to go to that ball and hang out with my friends. It seems like heaps of fun. And I knew a little bit about what it was about, but last year, on the third year of me trying, I finally got a ticket and I said to Joe, you're coming with me. I think you're going to love it. So we went with a couple of girlfriends and we went along to this Be Her Freedom ball. And it's a charity ball, and some of the statistics and some of the information that Melody shared throughout that ball, we both looked at each other at the end and said, oh, we need to be doing more. We need to partner up. And we'd been looking for a charity for a little while. Mm-hmm. And we knew in our heart that this was it. Like, we knew that this was ours. This is what we had to partner up with. It's something that totally resonated and made sense to us. So we've partnered up with Melody. You'll be able to hear all the details throughout the podcast show, exactly what we're doing. We're super excited. But the best way for you guys to help, if you listen to this and think, what can I do, is to either just simply donate cash, cold hard cash, to purchase our ebook, the ice cream ebook that we talk about through the show. 100% of that we are donating through to Be Her Freedom. And then we've got a couple of other things that we're working on as well, and they will get announced as they get released. So,
and if you don't have any money, what you can do is just share it.
Yeah.
We all have the power to share this podcast, share this opportunity to help others, because if you can't help like with money, someone out there of your friends list or someone will be able to.
Absolutely.
And at the end of the day, it is money that we need to be raising to help these women go through rehabilitation after being forced into sex slavery.
Yeah. So some of the stats you'll hear throughout are the staggering amount of people that are in slavery at the moment. And we're not talking balls and chain olden days slavery. It is very much a sex trafficking industry, or, other things as well. But that's definitely one of the main players in the slavery trade at the moment in today's current society. Some other stats you'll hear are the things that she's doing on the ground and how she's getting, people out of the slavery industry, or, and then allowing them to be rehabilitated and working and all of those things. And that's what Be Her Freedom Foundation is doing, is setting up the working women, like getting them, so once they've been rescued, they then come through her foundation, and she works with another couple of people as well. And it's really exciting that every single dollar, so this was something that really shocked us as well, and you'll hear this as well, that every single dollar raised or donated, every single dollar donated goes straight through. They don't take any overheads out. All their overheads are covered by sponsorships of bigger companies and people that have got the money to do that. So they've got people on the ground in Cambodia that are paid for not through your donations. They're paid for by the sponsorship of companies. The office that she works out of in Hobart was a charity, a government-funded charity thing that she applied for, whatever they're called, and things like that. So they use all their power and resources. The staff, Melody doesn't even get paid. The staff don't get paid that work. They're all volunteers. And it was one of the things that she mentioned at the ball as well. All the people that were working and handing out all our food and getting us drinks and all of those things were all 100% volunteers. They had security guards and men at the front door.
The husbands were the security guards.
Volunteers. businesses, like, so supply of food, obviously they had to cover some costs there.
Well, we bought the ticket.
Heavily reduced.
We bought the ticket for the ball, but then that covered our food.
Yeah, but everything was heavily reduced.
Awesome. Like, the food was just ridiculous.
It was beautiful.
It was
such a
amazing.
stunning event.
Yeah.
So anyway, you'll hear all more about that throughout this interview with Melody, and all the things that she talks about are so beautiful. And we're super honoured to be part of and partnering up with them and their company and their charity.
Sit back and enjoy.
So welcome, Melody, to our show. Thank you so much for joining us. We're super excited. So to get started, we'll let Melody introduce herself, because I think she's going to do it more credit than we can. So Melody, please share who you are and what got you involved in Be Her Freedom.
Sure. My name is Melody Towns. I'm involved in Be Her Freedom. So Be Her Freedom was basically a fundraiser that we started over 8 years ago. It was just an initiative. We'd heard about the issue of human trafficking, and for those that aren't aware of human trafficking, it's basically the sale of women and children, the majority women and children, but it does happen to men and boys, into the sex trade or the labour trade, and so they're forced against their will. And I just remember hearing about it and being horrified, thinking how can this happen, and how can I be
in today's world? Like, how is something like this happening?
Exactly. And we're all really aware of slavery, and slavery as being a past thing. And at the time, just thinking, I'm nearly 30 years old, I have children, and I'm not aware of slavery, and just felt compelled to do something. And so that's all we did. We just had a little high tea, and we called it Be Her Freedom, and 100 people came, and they were kind of our friends, and we paid for them to come. But this message of, your freedom isn't something that can be taken for granted, people aren't free around the world, resonated, and from there it just grew. And so now it's a charity with a social enterprise arm, and we've reached thousands of women with the message of using your freedom to fight for freedom, and donated hundreds of thousands of dollars to see people rescued. It's been an amazing journey of just
incredible
doing something.
It's so amazing. So Tracy took me to the Be Hers ball last year, new to Hobart. I'd never heard of it before, but it's a ball that you run to raise money. And what was there last year? 1,000 people there or something?
1,000 women. So it blows us away every year. It's you never take it for granted, but it's like it's sold out the last 3 years.
I know, because I've wanted to go the last 3 years and haven't been able to get tickets. And so this year I was determined to get a ticket. So I was right in there as soon as they came up for sale, and I had an absolute fantastic time. But it really brought to light, like, I hadn't heard some of the statistics. I knew what Be Her Freedom was about, and I knew it was this really great cause run by amazing women, and empowering women to empower other women is right down my alley. But when you said some of those statistics on the stage, I was crying, but in shock as well. And so can you go through some of those statistics with us?
Yeah, sure. I think, the statistics can be really overwhelming. And so what we've tried to do through the Be Her Freedom Ball is just to break it down to the one. So statistics-wise, when we started 8 years ago, the rough statistics were 27 million people enslaved, and that's actually more people enslaved in the history of the world. So, you look back in history and you think, slavery was so prolific, but yet 27 million, we're talking 8 years ago. Now those figures are up to 48.5 million.
Wow.
So in that time, it's nearly doubled. And so for us, I think I mentioned at the ball this year, for us, it's been a really long journey just fighting for freedom. What can some normal girls do? But this realisation that we can all do something, and if we stop, that number's doubling. And so it does affect us. And so 48.5 million, that's across slavery, but a big percentage of that is women and children sold into sexual slavery, and that's what we focus on, because that does affect us here. You can see it across society, and we really want to empower everyday women to basically know their worth and to then know their purpose, to fight for the freedom of another woman who's just like us.
We're so privileged, aren't we? We get to go to bed in a safe house, in a safe environment. We get to walk down the street safely because we've never been subjected to this horrific ordeal. But we have the opportunity to still be able to help Like, we're the privileged ones. We're privileged enough to be able to help. So that's what we're going to do.
Yeah, absolutely. So before we get onto that, though, can you take us through, because in my mind it was happening in other countries. It doesn't happen here in Western countries. It's not happening in our white society, if I want to look at it like that. And here I am thinking it's in really third world poverty-stricken countries. But again, at the ball you stated something about that, like where it, like, and I think it was America. You gave American stats, I think.
Yeah, that's right.
And
so, let's take America, for example. The Super Bowl is recognised as a spike in human trafficking happens across.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, across the Super Bowl. And pedophiles literally fly in to the Super Bowl to traffic.
So they just steal them?
Well, pedophiles fly in to sleep with children, and pimps prostitute the children out at the Super Bowl. So police are zooming in on the Super Bowl as one of the spikes, and that's in the middle of America. That's something that we all watch, and you'd never think that happens. So it's a really good example of the connection. Like you said, it's really easy to think of human trafficking as such a foreign concept to us. We don't, it didn't cross my mind, like I mentioned, until I heard about it really for the first time. But it actually is everywhere. It's in our backyards. It's, across every vulnerable community in the world. And, people that are affected by poverty or disadvantage are at a higher risk of being trafficked. But you don't have to look very far over your shoulder in our community and you can see vulnerable children everywhere. And at the end of the day, human trafficking is the highest money generating criminal activity, and so it's pretty naive to think that that's not going to happen here, because it does.
So awful.
Yeah.
The internet must play a big part, like I guess the access to pornography and all these hideous things are all just easy access, and their communications would be easier, and maybe that has to be why it's risen so much.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, it definitely does play a huge part in it. I think just connecting the dots. For us, we're not out rescuing people, but we want to connect the dots. And I think that, the aha Oprah moment for me came on when I had my daughter and I connected the dots of, hang on a minute, like we're sitting here and we all do it. We all have these dreams and visions for our kids of what we want for them. And then realising if she was born in another country or in a different place, or if I had no finance, everything would change for her. But, even in terms of the way the world is going, children are kidnapped, children are stolen. And so...
Yeah, well, we see it here in Australia, don't we? Kids that are taken, and there's still kids out there that they haven't found yet. It's awful.
It's awful, and like you're saying, the rise of, pornography, child pornography, all of this stuff that we can now access so easily online. You can see it across the Philippines, for example. One of the highest rates of trafficking and exploitation over there is actually child pornography via webcam, and the consumers are in the West. And so it's just, we're not pointing fingers at anybody, but we're just joining the dots and saying, if you see something, say something. Be aware of it. It's quite often in our society we'll just see things and laugh it off. I think it doesn't affect us, or it's just nothing. And the more I've kind of dug into this, the more you realise that simple things like education actually is something, empowerment is something. A lot of these girls that are sold into sex trafficking are from vulnerable situations, and they've never been told, but my daughter's been told that she's worthy, and so they unwillingly, but maybe not even realising, end up in these situations with pimps, and then they're vulnerable and then they're trafficked. So they might not be snatched, but they are also in a vulnerable situation. So we're just wanting to raise awareness about that and then create solution to actually connect the dots and say we can actually make a difference to help.
We can make a difference. I totally agree, and it's something that, as Joe alluded to before, that we're really, really passionate about. So we are teaming up with Be Her Freedom and Melody and her crew, and to do what we can do using our social media platforms for good rather than for evil. So on that note, Joe, you're keen to go.
I feel a bit emotional. I'm really excited. I'm really proud to be able to do this and to help those people that need help. So bring it on. So what we have decided to do is put some, I guess, plugins into our website where you can donate as well. We've got some ebooks coming out, and we'll link all of them into the description and into the show notes as to what you can buy. So our ice cream ebook, that is free when you purchase an ice cream mold, but we've had so many people ask us, can I just buy the book? Like, I just want the book. I don't want the mold. I've already got mold. So we've decided to sell our ice cream book for only $5.95, and 100% of that goes to Be Hers Freedom. We've also got something else coming onto our website soon, and it's an educational program, and we're going to be charging $14.95 for that, and 100% of that will go to Be Hers Freedom as well. And also in our shop as well. So when you purchase something in our shop, you can add $1 or $5 or $10,000 if you want. You can just add $1, and all of that money is going to go to Be Hers Freedom too. And then we'll have other projects come up along the way as well. We are really excited. So I'd love to talk about where this money is going. So that was something that we wanted to do with Be Hers Freedom, was to decide as a whole, like, where is our money sort of going, or your money going? And we're very excited to have teamed up. So you take it away and tell everyone where it's going, because it is a certain project, and it's going to be really amazing to have this as an additive-free lifestyle project.
Yeah, absolutely. We're really excited to have the Be Hers Foundation as part of what we do. And the Be Hers Foundation is set up so that 100% of your donation is used to fund the projects that we have on the ground. So we don't use any of that to cover any administration. So when you donate $1 to the cause and through Additive-Free Lifestyle, you can be certain that that money is going directly to build the project, which is super exciting.
It's something I was really shocked about when we first spoke to Melody about it. I'm like, well, how do you cover your overheads? That all people who just donate their time to work on this cause. So when money gets donated, 100% goes through to the area.
That's right. So the foundation is set up basically so that we can build projects on the ground to actually create impact. And like we were talking about, Be Her Freedom here, the aim of it is to raise awareness across Australia and to empower everyday people to make a difference, like yourself. But then we look at the bigger issue of, okay, well, what creates human trafficking? And one of the main things is lack of education, lack of employment, poverty. And so we're really excited to have some projects on the ground in Cambodia. If you've ever been to Cambodia, it's the most beautiful place, but it's also just been devastated through war and poverty. And as a result, so many children there are either trafficked into prostitution or at risk of sexual exploitation. And so we've set up a sewing centre in conjunction with the She Rescue Home, an amazing organisation there who's one of our partners. And we're looking at extending that. So we're really thrilled to take you guys on the journey of what that could look like. And so what that actually looks like is extending the merchandise range, creating an avenue for girls to not only be rescued, but then rehabilitated, educated and employed. And what's exciting about this project is we're not just going to employ them, but we actually employ the whole family, and then they are monitored over the next 3 years with social workers and the support and the psychologists, everything that they need to actually make sure that they can function from that point on. And so we're really thrilled to be partnering with an organisation that is really trained in that area, but to be able to connect the dots here and create the finance and the resource and the marketplace that they don't have, where we can actually see this really flourish. So it's early days, but it's a big vision, and we can't wait to do this with you.
So basically all the money that you donate is going to go towards the rehabilitation centre, getting women back out into the workforce and earning money, and giving them themselves that sense of responsibility and
self-worth.
Self-worth. Like, I can do this, I can actually earn my own income. I don't need to rely on anybody else, and I can get my life back up and running and support my children and, have a roof over my head. Exactly. So we're very, very, very excited.
It's going to be amazing. So I know you do other projects as well.
But yeah, that's sort of the one we picked. So yeah, we're super pumped.
Yeah, it's going to be amazing.
So the big dream is to get over there and,
Yes.
and see where the money's going as well, and making sure that we're just as involved on the ground that we are online as well. So whatever we can do, we're going to do.
Yeah.
And we're going to help in every way that we can.
Absolutely. We're really excited. You know, some of the stories that are coming out of there already, you know, such a small amount of money can make such a huge difference. And we've had stories of girls that have just been put through a sewing course, you know, and these are girls that have been through hell and back. And it's one sewing course that might cost $500, which is nothing to us, but it changes their lives. And to be able to then not just give them the course, but to give them a job and their family a job, you know, it's something that we take for granted, but to be able to track that and to be able to see the tangible difference that we can make in someone's life. It's really easy to be overwhelmed by the 48 million, but when you break it down to the one girl and the impact that they can make across her life, it's pretty amazing. So yeah, we're excited to be on this journey with you. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Cool. All right.
Okay, well, I guess it's up to all of us now, and, you know, let's all join together with this amazing community that we have. Share this with everybody that you know. Share it with every single woman and man in your life, because it's just so incredibly important. And as Mel said, it really, we're not going to be able to change 48 million people, but we are going to be able to help others. And that's what we're going to do. So
share away, hit like, hit comment, all of those things, particularly sharing. Donate if you can afford it. And like Jo said, even if it's only $1 or $2, but yeah, if you've got more, by all means, throw that in there as well. And if you want that ebook, and all the links will be put down in the show notes, so you'll have all access to it. Just click on the link and you'll be taken straight through. It'll be super easy for you guys to do that.